Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for tuning in.
What's up? Thanks for coming back. Today we have Goose joining us.
Hello. I'm excited. Thanks for having me on this.
Our pleasure. We're happy you're here. We miss
I'm
you,
very
Goose.
happy to be here. I miss you guys too.
Today we're just gonna get to know a little bit about his experience with his bands and in the music industry, and hopefully you guys will learn something that inspires you or something that you can do something with.
Yeah, that you can use.
Yeah. Um. So let's just start out with some background knowledge. Goose, how many bands are you in?
Currently, I'm in three bands. I play guitar in My Dog Ate Chad. I play bass in Cosmic Hot Sauce. We just released an album a couple weeks ago too. It's called Lost in the Sauce.
Woo!
It's on all streaming platforms. Check it out. I also play bass in this band called Smelling Melons.
Do they smell good?
Oh, some melons sometimes.
You're certainly in a ton of stuff. That sounds pretty exciting.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Um, well, with all those experiences, all those different bands, how do you manage that being in three different bands? How do you manage the workload, practicing, scheduling, rehearsals? How do you do that?
Yeah, so pretty much my bands are my priority always, like before school, before anything. So I I don't know, I just put those before everything. I make time for those before everything else. Before all this stuff started happening, I had three band practices a week with each. Not three with each band, but one with each. So three practices a week total. I was just a very busy person, and it's worth it though. That's what I want to be busy with. So
Mhm. If you could say something to like musicians about that constant grind, like what do you have any like a big motivation thing that you say to yourself or that you could say to them so that they know that all the hard work will pay off?
yeah, I guess if you know that you want to do it, then go for it. Like, don't let anything get in your way. um and sometimes it's going to be hard, and sometimes you'll ask, like, is it worth it? But if that's what you want to do, if that's what you feel gravitated towards, that is what you need to do. So do it.
Yeah. We can definitely tell it's your thing. And you're definitely chasing that and putting in the time and hard work to make it happen, which is awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, how does your role in each of these bands differ? Because I know you're playing guitar in one and bass in two, but like besides that, are you like band leader or do you have like a dominant role in some of them?
Yeah, so Cosmic Hot Sauce is the one where I'm kind of the most dominant. I started that with my drummer, and I do a lot of the songwriting. We all write together, but um, one or two songs are just solely like all of the parts I've written except for the drums. Um, but yeah, and I kind of lead that band too. I do uh, all the business stuff, booking stuff for that band. Um, yeah, that's kind of my baby. And then the other bands, other people do the booking stuff, and I have kind of less say in songwriting and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how did you get your first band together?
So I have been playing with this drummer. His name's Theo, and he's my favorite drummer in the entire universe, and I love him with my whole heart. He is my music soulmate. God.
Ouch.
Um, yeah. So I've been playing with him. We were each other's like first people that we ever jammed with, sort of. That was a few years ago, and I don't know. We just clicked. We started writing music. We had been looking for other people to play music with us for a while, and we had this one dude. Um, Evan play music with us for a little bit, but he was kind of a terrible person, so we stopped playing music with him. And we met Anna, who is our singer, and I knew Nico, who's a guitarist from My Dog Ate Chad. Um, and I had been following My Dog Ate Chad. I was in my Cosmic Hot Sauce first, and I had been following my dog ate Chad, and I saw Nico, and I was like, dude, you should play music with us. So
What's that band name? Could you slow that down?
yes, that was probably a lot of information. I'm
But
sorry.
who, man? Chad?
My dog named Chad?
My dog ate Chad.
Oh my gosh. That
That's the one I play guitar in. Yeah, so Nico also plays guitar in that band, and I asked him to join Cosmic Hot Sauce. He was actually filling in for our guitarist who we kicked out for a little bit, and he ended up staying. So I
You
forgot what the question was.
yeah, there's definitely a lot to this.
you talked a lot about the songwriting process and how it was a lot about gelling with the musicians and stuff like that. So, with your personal creative process in songwriting, how do you think that your role and relationships with all the people that you're in the bands with affect your process?
Ooh, um, that's a lengthy question. Okay, it differs from band to band. So with Cosmic Hot Sauce, since I was kind of a founding member of that, I feel like um, not that I have more say in the songwriting processes, but I have more of my songwriting ideas that I get, I bring to that band um, rather than the other bands. And I don't know, we all just kind of do our own thing. And I don't know, that's a really hard question.
Yeah. So it's just about bringing all the different ideas together.
Yeah, yeah. In that band, everyone plays their own parts, and we all kind of decide like what the message of the song is together and what the feel of the song is together. Like it's just happens organically. Um, yeah, I don't know. We all listen to each other super well.
So what genre of music is that band? Your band?
We call ourselves indie funk because it's like indie music, but I kind of bring a more like the bass is the prominent instrument in in that band, which is unusual. Um, but yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I mean, we're used to unusual because during 5 weeks, our band had two bass players, a guitarist, and a drummer.
Definitely value bass around here.
Definitely. We love it. Go ahead, Joy. Sorry.
So, as the band leader, you're talking about it's all about bringing the ideas together. How do you put yourself for all the like starting out musicians who are just getting their bands rolling? How do you put yourself in that position where you can be the band leader and you like have a voice in the band?
yeah. So with being the band leader, it's about guiding the band and everyone together rather than telling everyone what to do. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Um, So it's not being the band leader, it's not really obvious that you're the band leader because you're working together with people and you're giving them their space and you're giving them their room to do what they want, but you're also just making sure everyone's on the same page, um, making sure everything's structured, making sure you guys are being productive at practice, um, doing the booking and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about doing the booking and stuff like that? How you're able to do that?
Yeah, how do you get your
So
guys' gigs?
yeah, luckily I'm in a town. I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado, by the way. Um, please don't stop me. That is where I live. That town has a really great music scene and lots of different music foundations, and we have music festivals. So it's already a really great place for music. And so what I do is I email the venues and like we were supposed to have an album release show May 1st. And to get that, I emailed the venue and I was like, hey, we're this band, and I'm also in this band that has played at this venue before. Um, so can we have a show? You know, we'll bring this many people. um, you want to, when you're booking, you want to tell them that you have a good draw. If you do have a good draw, please don't lie to the venue. But tell them how many people you're going to bring. Tell them that it's good for them that you will be playing a show there. Yeah, and networking all the time. Like, go see other bands, go talk to those bands. They will remember you. They will tell venues about you. Just networking, talking to any music people around. That's always a great idea. And that will get you places.
Yeah. I think it's very important for us as teenagers to be networking and going to different shows and talking to musicians after, because that'll help us get out there more and also get to know other people and connections. We need to make connections to be able to just grow, of course, and learn more, but also to get ourselves out there. That's very important.
Yeah, also, just by seeing other bands, you just might get inspired, uh, like, oh, we should do this in my band at live shows.
Mm-hmm.
So always go see live music. I'm really sad that I can't go see a show every weekend right now.
Yeah.
But it is important to support local artists.
Yeah, for sure. Do you usually see a band every weekend?
Yeah, I mean, and I play constantly too. Like, I usually have a show at least like every other weekend. So yeah, that's something that keeps me looking forward to something. That's what really keeps me going. So right now it's kind of a big struggle.
Hmm. How do you physically keep up with that? Playing a show every other weekend, practicing 3 band practices a week.
It's a lot. It's really a lot. There were a few months where I had 2 jobs. I had school and I was in 3 bands, and I never got to sleep in. And it's just, I mean, music is what I love doing, so it was worth it. And if you need like coffee or something before a show, that's fine. I mean, you have to find ways to keep going, you know? Sometimes when we played festivals and stuff, we had later time slots because there were a lot of bands before us, and we were like ready to go to bed, having to go on at like 11 or 10, and just got to do it.
Hmm. Yeah, gotta push through.
Yeah. You talked about networking and going to different shows to promote your band. What are some other ways that you and your band deal with promotion, like social media stuff like that?
Social media is all right. I'm not super good at navigating, promoting on that. It's really good if you know someone that can do that, because if you do it right, then your post can reach a lot of people, and that's good. I don't really know how to do that. Um, but yeah, talking to people, and even just like if there are places in town like music stores, or we have like headquarters of music organizations around, and go in there, like stop by, talk to them, ask ask them like what kinds of resources they have for musicians. um yeah.
That's a really good idea. I don't think I've ever gone into local music stores and done something like that. So
Yeah,
thank you for that, Goose.
you're
There
welcome.
we go.
Also, you were talking about the social media struggle. The other day, Bea had to help me post on my story, and it literally took me 20 minutes to get a post out.
She's terrible. It was so bad, but we're getting there, right?
Yes, we're learning slowly but
We are.
surely. So, um, things like what Bea and I were just talking about. How do you think that meeting other musicians at different camps and concerts and things like that have helped you in like the long run? Like, I know you can invite them to your concerts or like take some inspiration from them, but in the long run, how do you think they've helped you?
Yeah, so just by constantly going to a band's shows, they'll start to recognize your face. Um, and if you haven't gone up to talk to them yet, they'll most likely go and talk to you and be like, "Hey, I've like seen you at our shows a lot. Who are you?" Um, and yeah, I've just like developed these acquaintances with lots of local musicians, and once you go to their shows a lot, they get interested and they want to go to your shows, and then um, eventually, in my experience, they'll want to play a show with you. So
In your experience,
Ooh.
you might want to build on that because that's super dope. Can we hear about that experience?
uh, geez, for the record, I have the worst memory on earth. So
Well, what you remember, if you just like a basic summary overall.
okay, there's this band from Erie, Colorado. I know that means nothing to probably most people listening to this, but they're called the Beeves, and um, I I just started listening to their music, and before I knew they were local, they were on my Spotify Discover Weekly for some reason, and I listened to a song and I was like, "Dang, this is amazing." So I listened to all their music, and then I discovered that they were local. So then I went to a show, and I just got really into them, and I started going to all their shows. And there was one time I was driving around town, Fort Collins, and they had a show in Fort Collins that night, and I saw them on the side of the road, and I stopped my car and I was like, "Yo, it's the Beeves." And they were like, "What? You recognize us? That's so cool." And the lead singer, Ian, told me that's one of his favorite memories of anything ever, because it just means a lot to have someone recognize you for being in a band and listening to your music. And so since then, I've built a relationship with all the members in the band, and they they've started going to my shows, and we've played shows together. So just get yourself in the scene, you know.
That's so dope. And it makes them happy too. Like it doesn't only like help us and benefit us, but they also get happy to see people like, man, like we love your music, which is super dope. So yeah, I love that.
There's no better compliment than another musician recognizing your music.
Exactly. That's dope, Goose.
Um, so can we talk about your band setting up for rehearsals? Like, do you guys have a go-to rehearsal space, or how'd you go about finding
Yeah, so for each band, it's in someone's house. Um, all of them are basements, actually. Uh, yeah. So luckily, each band has a space. We don't have to go somewhere and rent a room or anything. And it's just everything's just already set up because the spaces are just dedicated for that. So once we get there, everything's usually ready to go. Then we can just start practicing, which is nice. It really helps with productivity to have everything already be there.
that? What about going to shows with like backline or meeting the sound guy and stuff like that? How do you guys go about that?
Um, yeah, so it's really important to before a gig to have really good communication with the venue and with the other bands. Usually, we do it in like an email chain, and we make sure we know if someone's backlining. And usually, in the email, you get the name of the sound guy or people producing the show. And when you get there, it's really important to introduce yourself to the sound guy and anyone running the show, because then they remember you. They appreciate that you talk to them and introduce yourself because they're humans.
Say that one more time so they can hear that, Goose. One more time. Be good to your sound people.
Yeah, sound people. Um, why am I blanking? What are they called? Just the people who like go up and like fix things in the middle of. Why I know this? Stagehands. Stagehands. Be nice to stagehands. Um, introduce yourself to everyone that works there, because they're all human and they'll appreciate that, and they'll probably remember you, and they'll like you if you're nice to them, and they'll want you to come back. Um,
Yeah.
introduce yourself to the other bands you're playing with too. That's super important. Yeah.
One time my band plays at this one venue pretty regularly, like at least once a month. And when we first started playing there, well actually I guess we had been there for a while, but they got a new sound guy in, and he almost immediately got into an argument with our singer's dad. And for the next few shows, it was it was a little rough. But
Oh,
eventually, because I kept going up to him and kept trying to talk to him and like create a relationship with him, we eventually got it worked out, and now we're all good. He's
Oh
a nice
man,
guy.
Joy, you're a lifesaver.
Yeah, we're all good now. So talking to your sound guy is important. Try and be their friend if possible.
I mean, they make the show run smoothly for us. You should already want to be cool with them.
oftentimes if you are rude to them before a show or you just get set on the wrong foot, like they can make your show sound bad. They can make you look bad. So just be nice.
And in general, just be nice.
Yeah, just be nice. That's the moral of this whole thing. Just be nice.
Yeah, just be nice.
It's also their job to make you to try and make you sound good though. So don't think of them as being like unapproachable because they have all this power. They want to help you and they want to create that relationship with you.
Yeah, and another thing is don't tell them how to do their job. Don't tell them what to do. You can give them suggestions, but make sure that you word it in a way that doesn't sound like you're being bossy because they will not like that at all.
Yeah. How about communicating with band members? It kind of runs along that same thing. So if you want to tell your band member something, how do you go about that?
Think through, I usually think through in my head, how can I say this in a way where they will react positively, even if it's something that they might not want to hear. Yeah, never just speak your mind without thinking about how they'll interpret it because arguments with band members can be the worst arguments on the planet. Um, in one of my bands, I'm not going to name which one because I respect that. But there have been a few times where there were arguments between some members and they threatened to leave the band. So just make sure you're mindful of how they feel. And if you don't like something that they're doing, use nice words. Yes, be nice. Again, just be
Be
nice.
Good. Just be nice.
Just be nice. How about for writing your own music? So when you're not working with other musicians, what's your creative process with that?
So for me, uh, I don't try to force anything. Um, sometimes if I'm lucky, a melody that doesn't exist yet will just start playing in my head, and I get to just sit down and work with that, and more stuff will play in my head, and then I can just make it become tangible. Um, but a lot of the times lately, I've been feeling super uninspired, and I don't try to force anything, but I kind of set my gear up and maybe drag a drum track from GarageBand and see if I can build anything off of that. And if not, cool, I put my stuff away. I do not force it. Um, yeah.
Sometimes you need to take a little break, step away from it for a bit in order to come back. Yeah.
I thought of a question while you were talking, and then I almost immediately forgot it.
I know. I just started writing stuff down because I'm like, wait, I need to remember.
I gotta take notes on what Goose is saying. This is good stuff.
This is
Be
good stuff.
nice.
Y'all better be taking notes.
Wow.
I mean, should we talk about how we met? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, we could talk about that. That's a good story. It's fun.
Yeah, just a little backstory.
If you guys remember,
I remember the best day of my life. Do you not?
again, I have the worst memory ever. I don't remember, so I'm thankful that you guys apparently remember.
Wow. Last time we're having you on the show.
meeting Joy because Joy was the first other bassist I met at Berkeley, I think.
When did we meet?
Dang.
Okay,
I
think it was before Daryl Jones's like presentation thing, right?
You're right. I didn't. Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, I only remember that, which is good because you don't remember that. But yeah, it was in the performance center. They were like, blah blah blah, and then I was like, hey, and you were like, I'm a bassist, and I was like, I'm a bassist, and we have to go to this thing, and then we went to the thing. which was Daryl Jones. And when I met him, that was weird because I shook his hand and we talked for a minute, and then he was like, "I have to pee," and then he just left.
What a great first introduction.
Yeah.
Musicians are people too. We have to pee.
Yeah.
The time I remember meeting you guys was was the studio performance class. So all of us
yeah.
all of us
Oh.
meeting for the first time. I don't really remember having talked to either of you guys that much before that. We just kind of looked
How
each
did
other in the eyes and we
how
were like, we're a
Yeah.
band.
I think I remember Goose. I think was it like lunch or dinner, and we were eating in the Berkeley Caf thing, and I don't know how we got each other's Instagrams or how we met. How did
I think
that?
I went up to you or something.
Oh yes, because of the jam. The jam.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Word
Don't
to,
quote me on that.
word to everyone listening, if there are jams around you, participate in them because they're so
Yes.
much fun and they're amazing opportunities.
So
Exactly.
scared. That is okay for anyone who needs to hear this. I used to be so scared of going to jams. You know, I always thought like I'm not good enough to play with other people. It doesn't matter because you will learn from other people, and don't tell yourself you're not good enough because then you're not going to want to get better. You're just going to feel bad about yourself. So go participate in jams, even if you're so scared. It's going to be a great thing to do. You're not going to die. I hope not. But just go participate in jams. Do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I used to be okay for that first jam. Actually, I was super nervous. I didn't want to go up, but I did, and I asked Henrik to do it too. He plays keys, right? And then that's how I met you guys. So like, great things come from it, and you learn even if you mess up. Because I messed up, but it still worked out. I'm still here. We're still here.
Yeah. Bea knows I mess up sometimes during jam. Sometimes I will play every single wrong note. She knows it.
There's a video actually. We have that, and it's actually wonderful. But yeah,
Maybe if you're lucky, we'll post it on the Instagram.
you might do that. But yeah, jams are good. And then we wrote a song, the E of 3, and now we're here. So thank you, dude.
Yeah. Thank you, Crit.
Thank you, Crit. Yes, because he told I had to leave the classroom because I was laughing too much for
I
no
remember
apparent
that.
reason.
That was my first impression of Bea, her getting kicked out of class because she was laughing.
It was so bad.
She could not stop laughing for some reason, and it was the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that won't happen here because no, I don't want to get kicked off the podcast. But yes, that was the first impression.
And we were all our class was super late at night, so we were not that late.
It was like 8.
Was it 8? I feel like it was later than that because we didn't have time to get dinner a lot of times after.
Yeah, because things closed. After. Yeah.
You're right. I think it ended at 9:30.
Yeah, I think it was 9:30.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Crazy.
It was cool though. I loved having a full schedule with like just music class after music class. You know, like staying up until 3 a.m. practicing.
Yeah. This was at Berkeley 5 week, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what that is.
That's what that was.
But also with quarantine happening and since you're at home, if you have a chance to sit down and really like grind with practicing and stuff like that, you should take it. It's a great thing to do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm nodding my head and I haven't done that once. I've been feeling so, I don't know, because everyone has periods of time. Okay, this is really funny. I told my brother I was doing this podcast and to not interrupt while I was doing it, and he just walked in with a piece of paper that says mac and cheese ? Love that. Yes, that sounds good. Thanks, Ashley. Okay, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, yes. So I've been feeling super uninspired, and sometimes I just feel like even if I'm just gonna sit down and practice, well, I'm sorry, I'm just like going off on this thing.
It's okay.
But for me, it's hard for me to just sit down and just practice because I get so many ideas and then I just start to write bass lines. So I can't sit down and just practice. So that's why it's been hard for me to do that recently because I start to try to do things, but since I'm feeling uninspired, I just kind of hate everything that I play, and I feel like everyone goes through those periods where they're scared to pick up their instrument because they hate everything they play. And if you're going through that, it's okay. Be patient. Maybe pick it up and just do some scales or something. Um, but it's okay. You're not a bad player. Happens to everyone. And yeah.
If you're feeling that, just try and go back to the basics. You can't ever know too many fundamentals. So even if you're like feeling uninspired, can't really think of anything to write, if you're just like going through scales or practicing something like that, practicing like a solid groove, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely one thing that helps me, um, actually Femi told me, was go back to things, go back to like either music, music videos on YouTube or like live concerts that you love or artists that you love and just listen to them. Like you don't even have to practice or do anything, but just listen to what you love and pick out what you love from that and hopefully it will spark a little more stuff in you. That definitely has helped me a lot when I go through those periods of time, you know? And sometimes just do something else. Bake some peanut butter cookies.
Yeah,
Go on a hike.
go on a hike.
Get outside. Listen to the birds.
Drink water. Stay hydrated. It's good for you.
Do laundry.
Yes.
That is Bea's favorite thing to do.
Wow, this is some new information for me, Bea. I didn't know you love doing laundry so much.
Joy exaggerates that a lot.
Yeah.
But yes.
The story behind it is why.
No, there's no story.
Sounds like there's a story.
Save it for a different time.
I think this is a great opportunity to share that story.
I mean, there's not much of a story, honestly. It's just while we were at 5 Week, I used to always want to hang out with Bea.
That's okay. First of all, I did not do laundry all the time. But when laundry was being done, you had to stay there because it was like less than an hour and you had to get your laundry stuff from the laundry room because other people had to do it.
I never stayed there.
No, you don't
You
stay
just
in
stayed
there,
and
but I
watched
stay
your
in
laundry
my
get done?
dorm. No, I don't watch it. I'm just in my dorm or I'm practicing.
So yeah, I used to always want to hang out with Bea. And every time I text her like, "Hey, what are you up to? You want to hang out?" She'd be like, "Oh, I'm doing laundry."
Okay. Second of all,
It happened like every night, honestly.
second of all, you never said, "Hey, what are you doing? I want to hang out." You just said, "What are you doing?" I just like, "Oh, I'm chilling, doing laundry, practicing, right?" And then we did hang out. We would hang out. We ran in the rain and went to Wendy's across the street.
We did hang out a lot. I will give you that. But still, I wanted more. I wanted more hangout. But she prioritized laundry.
Wow. You're always in the okay.
They're getting all the drama in this episode.
They are. It's juicy. It's a juicy one, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So back to what you were saying before that whole laundry thing about how Phoebe told you to like go back and listen to something that you can be inspired by. That reminded me of something Victor Wooten. Well, I think it was my first time meeting him. We were I was at his like cabin, his woods retreat thing. So I was up on stage playing with him, and he was like, "Hey, what song do you want to play?" And one of the first songs that I ever learned on bass was Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. So anytime I'm ever feeling like just a little like out of it playing wise or like not really motivated, I always go back to that one song because of how good it made me feel when I first learned it and how good it made me feel when I was playing it with Victor Wooten.
That's great.
That's a great thing to
That
do.
is that's a great story.
Yeah, he's definitely an inspiration. It's so like what we were talking about earlier about how you should go up to other musicians and listen to their music and stuff like that. A lot of musicians are super approachable. They want to be your friend. They're nice. So it doesn't really matter. Well, I guess it does matter how big they are, but don't get too like starstruck by them because they're still people. They're still do all the basic things.
And they were just like us. Yeah, exactly. And they were just like us, being shy to go up to the people that they looked up to.
Yeah, that's so insane. When I was at his woods cabin again, I told Goose this story. Bootsy Collins was there, and Victor Wooten got starstruck. It was so I was sitting there starstruck by him, and then he was starstruck with Bootsy. So it's just this whole process.
That's so dope. Oh my gosh, just imagine all of that. Oh man.
Too much goodness under one roof.
Joy is like straight up chilling with the legends.
Joy is a legend.
That's what's up.
Hopefully one day. I like to learn a lot of stuff from them. They definitely have a lot of knowledge to share. Steve Bailey was also there he's the Berkeley bass chair. So there's just a ton of really cool stuff to learn from them. If you have a chance to sit down and talk to any more experienced or older musicians, take it, because it honestly doesn't really matter how out there in the scene they are. They'll almost always have some sort of knowledge to share with you.
Yeah.
This is one of those industries where soaking up information is really important.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. We love you, Goose.
I love you guys. I think about you guys a lot. I miss you guys.
Miss you too. I miss jamming. Like, yeah. Remember that one jam we had that was like 13 minutes and it was just me and you, just drum and bass? That was insane. But for real, thank you, Goose.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
It's really cool what you guys are doing, and I hope that it just keeps going and is continuing to go and just keeps moving.
Thank you.
So,
You're a part of it. You're a part of this choo-choo train. But yeah, it was a really good conversation. Thank you. Took notes.
I learned a lot about all the whole band process and songwriting, stuff like that, stuff I haven't had experience with.
Yeah, we also hope you guys listening took a lot from that. And if not, listen to it again and make sure you take notes.
Yeah. You can never listen too many times. So, yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. Please join us next week.
Yes, and we'll have our topic will be education and music schools. We have a really dope drummer and musician who's going to be talking about that. Very excited.
Also, if you enjoyed this, please check out our YouTube channel and our Instagram, which is at ETMS Podcast.
Yes. Thank you guys. We'll see you soon. Actually, no, you'll hear us soon because we can't see you. But yes, tune in soon and you'll hear our lovely voices.
If you love the sound of our voices, please go back and listen to our other podcasts.
if anyone cares, I just got the mac and cheese.
And that's that. That's the closing. He got his mac and cheese. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Be nice. That's the perfect.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Yeah, be nice.
Be nice.